part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane,
This is Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action. This is Mark Wade, writer of Superman Birthright, and you're listening to the Krypton Report.
Welcome to the Krypton Report. This is a fun, special episode because we have 4 grown men and a child, and we're going to talk about toys. That's right. And not toys from our childhood. No. We're going to talk about our obsession with buying and collecting toys now as men in our 30s. So, hey, like I said, men. So with me, this is like the coolest episode ever because we have the most people we've ever had together for one conversation. I have, of course, the lovely Mr. James Cole. Welcome, James.
Lovely. Thanks.
A returning voice that you remember when we talked to Superman, Mr. Levi. What's up, bud?
How you guys doing? Excited to be here.
And then an even farther returning voice who did a snippet for me back when him and I went and saw Brightburn, my old buddy Mike. What's up, man?
What's up? Hope everybody is having a great evening.
And then, because you can't have just grown men talk about toys, we got the Soul Man with us. Want to say hey?
Hi guys, I'm here back with another video of my dad.
So we're gonna talk about McFarlane.
Yes.
One, because McFarlane, recently in the past couple years got the license to do the DC toys, and McFarlane's also always made a name for themselves in figures and in toys. And the fact that they're really putting a lot into it. I mean, I try to keep my knowledge of the Mattel stuff when they were coming out with and everything. But I feel like McFarlane just has such a stronger business plan and the way that they're rolling out figures. But what we'll do is, because we have so many people, we'll kind of go around. We'll let each person talk a little bit about history with collecting toys or figures, and then we'll start kind of talking about what we have so far from McFarlane. So we'll start with James. You go first, buddy.
Well, I mean, for McFarlane, let's start with toys. I've always had action figures, always had action figures for movies and cartoons. I still have I still have Star Wars action figures back from back from before they released the special edition movies back into the theaters.
Oh, that's awesome. You know where all mine went?
I still have a box of those.
My mom decided that they just should be in a yard sale, and she got rid of them.
Oh, that is terrible.
If I was talking to my mother when I went to this special toy store with Jania, I always took pictures of the toys that they had and how much they were worth, and send them to her and be like, "See, Mom, it wasn't worth those $2 in the yard sale, was it?" But I digress. Continue.
So, yeah. So I've been collecting some figures all my life, but McFarlane figures, I remember back when he was doing, he started his Spawn and then his Athletics line. There was a buddy of mine back in high school, me, him, and his uncle. We'd go when they would stock the stores, and we'd go look for variant jerseys and stuff, where the figure was wearing the opposite jersey, the away jersey when the box had the home jersey on it, that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Nice. I totally forgot you did a sports line.
Yeah, we'd go hit up the Toys R Us and stuff like that.
Oh, Toys R Us. Let's all take a moment of silence.
So,
We miss you, Jeffrey.
The McFarlane line has been around for a really long time, and I like I have a bunch of the last multiverse line in the red and the blue boxes. But the McFarlane ones, they kicked off, and their design quality is always really good. that's been something that's like been a staple for McFarlane forever.
Okay. So Levi, you go ahead with your history.
Yeah, so I didn't start collecting McFarlane's until Zack Snyder's Justice League came out. My initial plan was just to get those ones. I was one of the people who said I will buy any Justice League merch if that movie comes out. So I was just following through on that.
He's a man who keeps his promises.
I was looking at how much I've spent on Zack Snyder Justice League stuff the other day, and it's more than I would care to admit.
This is a safe place, okay? Oh man, I got a meme for you guys. I think I still have it. I think I shared it with James earlier. I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna send it to you guys all individually. Okay, you all get a kick out of this based on what we're talking
Just
about.
tell me.
Continue.
Yeah, after I bought, I think I've got every single one of the Justice League ones. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get Superman. These are great. I really like them. We'll keep it to my interest and do Superman. I just counted up as we were getting ready to record. I think I'm up to 54 total now.
McFarlane's?
McFarlane Superman figures.
It's gotten a little crazy. We were chatting earlier today, and I bought the Blackest Night ones that just came out solely for the Build-A-Fig. But I have dabbled into the Witcher ones, so I could get the Henry Cavill Witchers. But yeah, it has gone a little crazy. They look great. The season 2 one has the best Cavill face sculpt of the 4 Cavill figures out there. So
wow,
for McFarlane.
See now they have those. They have the Disney Mirrorverse that's coming out, and like if the kids see too many of those, I'll probably end up having to buy those too. So, all right. Any before the McFarlane, any kind of DC collecting or anything like that for figures?
Funkos. I'm pretty deep into Funkos as well. That I think collecting for me stems from I worked for a company called Hastings for a while. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that. It was like a big box entertainment store, and we sold Funkos there, and I never bought any because I was like, I'm in college. I don't really have the time or the money for this. And then a lot of the ones I wanted to buy and didn't buy are worth hundreds of dollars now. So if I see a Funko I like, I just buy it. And somehow I'm up to like 450 Funkos now. So my wife hates it. She really hates it.
I sent you on Twitter, Levi. I sent you the photo. I sent Mike to him on his and everything. And James, it's the video game one thing from earlier. Well,
if I could find a store that did that, I would be golden.
You'd be like, "Thank you, you're my hero." So, all right, Mike, you go ahead. What about your history on collecting, just figures and stuff? Like,
I think I'm the rookie in the group because I didn't start collecting McFarlane's until about maybe October of last year. I knew about them. I knew about the collectibles. Have purchased a couple in the past before that, but never really made it a true collection until this past year. And when I say that, I went on a rant when I first started, and every week I was at least buying maybe 2 or 3. So within that few months span, I'm maybe sitting at maybe 30 now McFarlane's. So I'm trying to catch up, being in the game. But just the history of just me loving DC itself, man, I've always been a DC fan. Always wanted to put on a cape or put on a utility belt. So being able to officially in my adulthood be able to get into the aspect of putting them together, separating them, putting them by multiverses, putting them by ranking, in my opinion, it's great. It brings the childhood out, and I'm able to now let my kids see how much in it I enjoy it, and now they enjoy it as well. So every time we go out, hey dad, you getting a McFarlane today? Hey dad, what new character you getting? Hey dad, are you getting the hero or are you getting the villain this time? So being able to collect and have the family as well, put in on it and enjoy it and want to see the collection grow. Is just an amazing thing for me, for myself again, for the childhood, and then two, just being able to see my kids love it as well and enjoy their childhood and how I grew up, like watching the old Batman series, etc. So that's my little quick history on it.
Beautiful. It's a perfect segue because Mike, one of the things that we bonded over, like when working together, was he has two girls that are the same age as my two kids.
Yeah.
So it was really like, hey, our kids. And what's interesting is, I just want to say, as of this recording today, my wife, she got me the Gotham Knights Batgirl figure because she knows I wanted to get a Batgirl, and she was like, "You don't have this one, do you?" She literally brought it home to me like 2 hours before we recorded.
Yo,
She presented it for me, and I was like, "Thanks, babe." So Solomon, real quick, why don't you talk about how like you got into like figures and collecting? Like, did your dad have anything to do with it, like to help you?
Dad started collecting Superman figures from McFarlane, and then he collected other figures. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna collect McFarlane figures. So I have 3 so far.
You have so we'll talk about what we have here in a little bit. But Solomon has Red Hood from Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Red
You
Hood.
have Riddler from the Batman.
Yes.
And then we have it, but we haven't got it yet because for his report card, if he gets all A's, like he did last year,
Or B's.
and a B's, depending on the subject, he's getting the Killer Croc, the big Arkham Killer Croc one. You know what I'm talking
Very
about?
nice.
oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
From
And-
the
and then in my list here.
We'll get to lists. But yeah, I already bought it. It's in my bedroom, but it's his reward if he works hard in school. So that's the goal, right, buddy?
Yeah, and I have one more that's in my list. Really quick.
Okay, what's in your list?
The Joker Dragon.
Yeah, he saw the Joker Dragon because I got the website pulled up in front of us.
And I really want to get it.
So, you know, my thing is like I had a past relative that was really big into toys and toy collecting, and we'd always talk about stuff, and we talk about toy lines, and like I said, I kept kind of an idea of like the Mattel stuff, what was going on, and they were doing like, you had the two kind of lines. You had the DC Direct that you'd find like at the comic store or whatever, and then you had like the Multiverse from Mattel. They'd put out figures, and then it got weird for a short period of time because then they changed up how they were making them, and some of the last Mattel figures, like the packaging was like blue, and they did the only figure. I have 2 figures from that last run. I got Shazam from the movie Shazam version, and I have Kingdom Come Superman, and then the McFarlane stuff started. And other than before this era of DC and McFarlane, the only McFarlane figure I think I have is I have a Johnny Depp Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow. Oh no, wait, and I used to have a Jack Sparrow and Will Turner, and I don't know what happened to those two, but I had those two. Oh, and I had a Bruce Campbell. I had 4. I had a Bruce Campbell Ash. It was the S-Mart Ash.
nice.
But I ended up giving that to a friend because he was really depressed and he loved Bruce Campbell, so I cheered him up. But yeah, those were my like with McFarlane. But I always admired the figures they put out because they were always so detailed.
Yeah.
And that's what was amazing to me. So when they said that McFarlane Toys was getting the license for DC, I was excited. The only thing I can say is I wish McFarlane would kind of do what they were doing, where they were doing more of the figures of, I guess mainly I want him to do a Superman and Lois figure because there's not really that many shows anymore for the DC. Like we got Stargirl, she's still around, and we got the Flash, which they did a Grant Gustin Flash, but I would really like a Tyler Hoechlin Superman. So. And I would love if they, Levi and I were talking about this on Twitter, like if they start doing like the Batman, because they always want to put out more Batman, and I get it, but give me a Batman Begins, give me a Batman and Robin, give me a Batman Forever, you know, give me a Batman Returns, a Batman '89, the whole movie line, let's dip in that well again. You know what I'm saying? I would buy those.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's the old joke, you know, the first 4 Batman movies were there to sell toys. I mean, each movie has what, 2 suits typically, so
Yeah,
it practically sells itself at that point.
but it's hilarious because Batman 89 one suit, Batman Returns is one suit, but then Batman Forever is 2, Batman and Robin is 2, Batman Begins is one suit, The Dark Knight is one, The Dark Knight Rises is one, and then you get to Ben Affleck, and he's got like what, 4, 5 suits? Hold on, he's got the BVS, and then he has the Nightmare scene, and then he has the standard Justice League, and then he has the Justice League suit at the end. So just the
And he
4.
also has the armor.
That's what I'm talking about, the armor suit at the end. So yeah, he had 4 suits, and 2 per movie. So it's interesting. Yeah, because
I think when we were talking about it, I'd kill for the Val Kilmer suit
Oh,
to be a McFarlane.
Yeah, they made a Val Kilmer Batman Forever in the line just before McFarlane got the license.
Yeah, they did. They released that, and they released a John Wesley Shipp Flash, and they're hard to find and ridiculously expensive. That's the thing. I used to have one saved in my wish list on Amazon, but then I took it off just because I felt like just having it there, asking people to look at it and possibly buy it for me, was like robbing them.
Well, you know, like the Zack Snyder, like the Justice League. So the I believe it was Mattel who had the line before. They made an entire Justice League line with parademons and the cyborg with the face shield, the metal face shield that comes down.
I have that one. One because it was on clearance for $5 at Walmart, and I bought it because I was like, you know, at the time we didn't know we'd ever seen anything. I was like, okay, I need cyborg. That's cool.
I mean, I'd also like a Parademon McFarlane if we could get one of those, whether it's based off the movie one or any of the comic designs. A Parademon would be great, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. And also, they should make a Dark Side. Another Dark Side, not a movie Dark Side, it's like a comic Dark Side.
I was gonna say, I have the gold label armored Dark Side. That was an exclusive Target release, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I have that. I have that Dark Side up here.
That's probably my favorite McFarlane. It is.
We have a
the detail on that was so good.
Yeah, I have the one where he's just not wearing a shirt. That's basically the difference.
Yeah.
James has the one with the shirt. I have the one without the shirt.
Yeah.
I've got both, but the fully armored one, I mean, they're both so detailed, but the fully armored one's probably my favorite. It's probably the one I keep out the most. And when I do webcam chats at work, sometimes I get tired of having my face on there. I just stick that thing right up to the camera because the face is so detailed.
I'm like, Levi, you okay today? You look a little sick, man. You look a little stony. Yeah. All right, hold on. Here we go. I found it on Amazon. See all buying options for the John Wesley ship. Ready? One option, $200 plus $8 to ship. So I guess we could buy it and just ship it to each other and like each take a month off, you know, like with it, take pictures of it in our collection and just pass it around and be like,
Well, now you got me looking. I'm pulling up the Batman Forever figure. And even that one, I'm $50, $100, depending on.
It's $50 and then $25 to ship.
Yeah.
So okay.
Well, especially when they don't make them anymore.
Yeah. So let's go around here. We'll switch it up. We'll start with Mike because he said he was the newest member.
Yeah.
And just kind of tell us what figures you do have.
Yeah. So just going over a few of my collection. One of my favorite actually. Is the Joker Titan from Batman Arkham Asylum. Just
Okay.
that one in a couple weeks ago. Martian Manhunter, General Zod, the Riddler from the Batman, Red Hood from the Three Jokers, Batman from the Batman, Catwoman from the Batman. Almost done with my Suicide Squad. Have Polka Dot Man, Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, King Shark, Peacemaker, Hush, Speed Force, Flash, obviously Superman from the Justice League, Aquaman, Batwoman, Wonder Woman, Riddler. So Nightwing, let's see, Gorilla Grodd. So got a good variety. I try to every time I get a hero, I get a villain to match it as well. Because sometimes I'll mix it up and I'll have them either separated or I'll create like a little fight scene. So I actually just put up a little fight scene on Instagram a couple weeks ago. I'll send that over to you guys to look at it. But that's a few of my collection there that I can name right off the bat that I have the cards for.
Nice. That's what I have in front of me. I was telling before we start recording is that I got some old school plastic, like back when I used to have my trading card collection and stuff, and I started putting all of my figures in the plastic, and that's what I got in front of me for quick reference of what all I have in my collection and stuff. Just trying to figure it out. So all right, James, what you got, man?
Well, some of my stuff's still packed away in boxes. I don't have enough shelf space for my figures right now.
I'll get there one day.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys seen pictures? What I did was I made like little shelves above like the way my windows are. So I drilled in some plywood on top of the window frame to kind of just make, cheap shelving that way.
Yeah.
And the door frame. And that's how I did a lot of my shelves for my figures and stuff, is just to keep it up. It was just an easy way to makeshift furniture.
Nice. But I got them back when I started when they first kind of started with the DC Multiverse line. Like I've got a Superman Action 1000.
I think that was my first. I'm pretty sure it was my first.
He came out with a Red Sun figure that I have. I have the black suit Superman. I have the red and blue suit. I have Darkseid. I even have a Raven Spawn figure.
That's dope
up there.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, right now I can't name off more because they're packed away.
That's what I'm saying. The beauty of these cards. Okay. So,
Right, I haven't opened all of them, so like everything up on my shelf right now, the cards are still in there.
Yeah, I think McFarlane those are like I've opened all my McFarlanes. I don't know. It's a battle inside myself sometimes of what to open and what not to open, but I just enjoy them being open. But okay. So I'm gonna go next because I figure Levi's probably got more than any of us, so I'm gonna save him for last. And as I do this, I will say, all the figures like Mike was talking about. One thing, as you guys know, but I started, the kids watch kids YouTube, and they have these stupid videos of kids unboxing toys and playing with toys.
Yep.
So I just started letting the kids take my phone and film unboxing videos. So every time I get a new McFarlane, they fight over who gets to open it, and they make a video. So it's something, like Mike was talking about, something with their kids. Like that's something that we have done. Sayla has called dibs for all future flashes. Solomon right now is he called dibs on Batgirl, and then he's any more Black Adam figures I get, he's doing that. But okay, so we counted ours. Solomon and I's collection. We have 35 figures.
First off, we have
the animated. We have every Superman they've released. Okay, except for the only ones I don't have is I don't have any like the gold painted stuff that they started doing, or the silver or the non painted. I don't have the. I've yet to get the Blackest Night Superman, and I'm debating pre-ordering the Hush Superman.
Okay, so first off we have Superman the animated series. The next one is Superman Black Suit from the animated series. And then it's Superman Red Sun, Superman DC
Rebirth, Action Comics,
Superman Action Comics,
Dark Knight Death Metal,
1000, Dark Knight Death Knight, Superman,
the Lois and Clark,
Superman, the
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight
Okay, hold on.
Returns.
This is a special one. This Superman is called DC Future State, but we also call it the James Cole action figure. And then we have both of the Zack Snyder's Justice Leagues, Superboy Prime.
Yeah, Superboy Prime, which is one of my favorites.
And then we have the Superman, Superboy John Kent.
And then we have Black Adam with cloak.
Yeah, I got the Black Adam with the cloak. Because I like the cloak. I think it looks cool.
And then we have Wonder Woman
84. The gold armor. Dark Side.
And then we have Dark Side, Justice League,
Steppenwolf,
Riddler,
Penguin and Batman. Then we have, hold on, my turn. Dr. Fate, Green Lantern John Stewart, Batman Earth 1, where it's Superman battling like the Doomsday Batman from Knight's Metal. Aquaman from Justice League. We got Red Hood, Gotham Knights, Red Hood, The Killing Joke, Martian Manhunter, Lex Luthor's Power Suit, General Zod.
And then we have
Grant Gustin Flash.
The Flash from the Flash anime series.
Justice League Flash.
Super Beast Flash from Justice League. And the Flash from Superman the anime series.
And then we have the Superman from the Page Punchers, the big one. And then we have, of course, Batgirl from Gotham Knights we have yet to open. And Killer Croc. So that's our humble collection. Now.
And we have other things on our list.
Yeah. Levi, your turn to wow us with how much badassery you have.
So I won't run through all 50 plus. I'll call it my greatest hits, my top ones, the ones I'm most excited about. How about that?
However you want to do it. Solomon got into reading them, so I was just like, all right, we'll go through it.
So I mentioned earlier the Armored Darkseid. It's probably my absolute favorite one.
I can agree with Darkseid.
I got both Zack Snyder Justice League Supermans. I actually keep the blue suit one. It's here on my desk next to me when I'm working. The Solar Suit Superman from Rebirth, the black suit one, that one is absolutely incredible. King Shark is hilarious, and I love it. And my wife does not understand that figure at all. But I think it's hilarious. It's one of the mega figs, so it's a big guy, and it is hefty and glorious. I've got the Dark Knight Returns ones. The armored Batman sticks out with that one. Of course, General Zod, CW Flash. I've got the 3 Black Adam ones. I've got both of the Black Adams and then the Hawkman. But like you, I prefer the cloaked one. I think it looks particularly awesome. Geralt Season 2 is here with me on my desk as well. The Pattinson Batman and Bat Cycle are pretty awesome. Gladiator Superman is what I call the future state one.
Yeah, we call that the James Cole action figure.
James Cole.
Yeah, that's what they call it. I want that figure.
It is surprisingly awesome.
It's
even my wife,
the Superman on my collection that pops, like it just stands out so much.
My wife came home and saw it, and she's like, "When did they make 300 action figures?" So,
I mean, he looks really great. You know, I mean, total gladiator vibes, and the artwork since they created him on Future State or that look. It's just been great.
It's great, and that figure I think has my favorite Superman face sculpt on there. Like to me, it's the most Superman looking one. Superman Unchained is probably one of my favorite comics, so I got both of those ones.
Oh, that's right. I don't have that one.
That one is
That's the one that I
awesome.
need. That's Superman. I felt like there was another one. Dang it, Tyler.
Steppenwolf it was the first of my Zack Snyder Justice League ones that showed up, and I absolutely love it, even though it's impossible to balance.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll finish with the gold armor from Wonder Woman 84. That one looks really good on a shelf.
I bought that one.
It's an awesome figure.
I bought that one because it was $7 at GameStop on clearance, and I was like, "What the heck?"
They made a lot of those, man. I'm not sure what the thought process was, but they were pushing that Wonder Woman 84 merch really hard, and they made a lot of those gold armor Wonder Woman.
Well, I think part of that, just on a side tangent, was because they released all the merch to go with the movie, and then the movie was held, so they just held this merch they were trying to get rid of because that impulse buying of it's the movie, it's new, that's what's now wasn't there. So they had a lot of extra stuff that they were prepared to sell because people would, buy it because, oh my God, the movie, that's the newest one. I'm so hyped. So they were like, quick, take it. Get it off our hands.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got mine on clearance at a Best Buy, actually. So,
see, I go and buy a lot from GameStop just because I get the reward points, the $5 a month, and I'm not always buying as many games. So I get the $5 a month, and they sell them for like $19.99. So I go in and every month at least buy one from GameStop.
Oh, absolutely! Got to save that $5.
So we've talked about our collections, and we all have a great collection. We probably, if we felt like it, we probably all have some of the same figures. It sounds like we do. Now, here's my question for each of us: Why? Why do we do it? Like what? The McFarlane's. Like I said, it's so interesting because it's become such a huge thing of like, oh, the new McFarlane. This, compared to before, like I feel like we weren't talking about the figures as much. So why are we into collecting these McFarlanes? We'll start with Mike.
The biggest reason why for me, it allows me to become more personable with the characters. And I know we can sit down, we can watch the movies, we can watch the shows, but being able to purchase those figures, put them up on your wall, put them up on your shelving. And this is what I do, and I may be a nerd for it, but guys, I literally just stand there for like 30 minutes and just stare at them. So just to literally like the joy of being able to just look at them like makes my day so much better. And again, it takes me back to my childhood, like on Saturdays, grab a bowl of cereal, watching the animated series of the Batman, it was amazing. And being able to bring it to life and put it on the shelf, being able to grab it, do things with it, record with it, take pictures of it, and really enjoy the fact that these characters that you are so close to, that you grew up with, that you can relate to because of their personal stories and where you come from, and just bringing it all together, man, it literally brings the kid out of me.
Okay, so now we're going to switch opinions. Solomon, why do you like collecting these figures? I mean, I know that like you get to play with yours, but like I have mine. What is it about it that makes you excited to collect and be part of like this craze of figures with us grown men?
Well, first off, they look detailed and they look nice, and they're one of the always the characters figures I get. They're like get detailed, really good. Like I have 3 Killer Crocs so far. I have one from Spin Master. It's the one that is like it's like little and it has accessories.
Yeah.
I also have a King Shark of that also. And then I have the one that was a Build-A-Figure. That was Red Hood. I remember a fake katana.
There's a bunch of them I bought just to build
And
the.
the only one he didn't buy was the Alfred.
Yes.
because it's too expensive.
Yeah. Side note, I did
So I have all the pieces except one arm.
the first Build-A-Figure I ever did was I bought all the figures to build the Doomsday and the Killer Croc for Solomon because he loves Killer Croc. The only one I couldn't get in time was Alfred. And I wanted the Alfred because it was the different head changing Alfred. It was like comic, Michael Caine, and then Alfred from Batman '89. You know,
Michael Goff.
Michael Goff. I almost said Alfred Goff. Michael Goff. But that thing, like, I couldn't find it in store. Then it shot up in price to like $50 and $60 for the figure. And I was like, dang it. So our Killer Croc's one-armed. So, James, why do you feel that you like to collect like this? 'Cause like I said, we're collecting in general, but I feel like there's been such a with the McFarlane run, it's become more of an obsession. At least it has for me. So, why do you into it?
I actually have.
All right. So I mean, as it is now, I've always been a fan of figures. We watch movies, we read comics, we want to see like when we watch movies and stuff, and it's all a new story, an original story. You know what I mean? You can sit there and look at your figures and come up with your own entire story that involves the whole thing if you wanted. These figures are really detailed. They're really fun to look at. You know, I'm sure we all do grab them once in a while, oppose them, move them around, make them look like they're like in a battle and stuff. We play with our figures once in a while.
I still have to convince the kids why some of my figures I don't open because they're like, "Daddy, are you ever gonna open that?" No.
No, not really.
But-
And I mean beyond that, there is the hope that one day, like, some of these figures will be worth something. That's so these figures, we paid this much for them. One day we can make a little bit of money off of them as well. Or even if you were to give them to somebody, give them to your children when you grow old, so that way they have something that continues to increase in value as well.
When I pass away, Solomon, this will all be yours.
Everything the light touches will be yours.
I'll be like a
Everything the
billionaire.
light touches, Solomon, is your kingdom.
I'll be like a billionaire. Holy.
I mean, that makes sense. Levi, what about you, man? Why are what's the collecting for you? Like, what's the thrill? Is it your drug? Go.
The your drug thing is not a bad description for it. I think part of it's kind of the excitement you get going out. Like, okay, I know I'm seeing people online saying they're getting this new figure. It's in stores. Let me go check my local stores. Kind of that thrill of the hunt, going out for it. I think beyond that, specifically why McFarlane's, I think Solomon said it best. The detail on them is great. Action figures have been around for a long time, and I never really got into them until the McFarlanes because they're the first ones that I think really kind of capture the spirit of whether it's a movie character or comic character. They actually look like the thing. It's not just a generic face on the Superman figure. It's Henry Cavill's face.
That's true.
On the figure.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
And they're a great way to strike the divide between. I love collecting my Funkos, and I've got 3 of the Sideshow collectible Hot Toys now. But I can't be dropping $250 every time I want to buy an action figure or some sort of figure. So a $20 McFarlane,
My
a lot easier to justify.
My sister is also hunting for the Dwight Pumpkinhead Funko Pop?
Yeah. Sayla's on the prowl for the Dwight from The Office where he has the pumpkin on his head. Funko Pop, that's her. That's her white whale. She's after it.
The one I'm trying to find, I think it's Batman Killer Croc.
Okay. I didn't know you were searching for one. You gotta tell me these things. For me, I think we've all kind of encapsulated it is, I didn't have a whole lot of Superman figures as a kid. Like it was harder to find, even though we had Superman the animated series. I think I had one Superman toy. And it was my favorite, but I only had the one. I had plenty of Batman toys because of the films, and like Levi just said, is you have a representation. If I'm looking at, my, I'm looking like right in front of me. I have my shelf. That's my movies. So I have, Red and Blue Justice League. I have Black Adam, and I have Robert Pattinson's The Batman, and they all look like the people. And then I turn my head, and right there is in a trinity is Ezra Miller Flash, animated series Flash, and Grant Gustin Flash. And then behind him is other Flashes, but they're not McFarlane. So yeah, it's
So you need to get those Injustice and those Injustice McFarlane Flashes. Those are really awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
And they got the white suit one.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. So, and I always liked collecting as a kid. Like collecting period. Like I had so much random stuff that I collected for Batman Forever and Batman and Robin that my mom threw away because my mom sucks if you haven't caught on to that. And I wish like I still had some of that stuff. Like I had cards, newspaper clippings, the cereal boxes, So I've always kind of liked to collect things. And, to go back to what Mike was saying, like I literally walk into my room here, and when I see my Superman toys, I feel good. Like it brings back my childhood. There's a sense of fun, even relaxing. Like my room is like, it de-stresses me at the same time, and back to talk about my mom, she got on to me about I waste my money on these collectibles. I'm like, Mom, you buy porcelain statues of people who live there dancing from the Victorian area. They're like $50 and $60. You have all these weird dolls around the house. I think a $20 Superman figure, I'm going to be okay. I'm like, yeah.
Even I don't like those.
Exactly. They're creepy, aren't they?
Yes.
All
and
right.
I think that's something too, just to jump on that. Like they make me happy. And sometimes, that's enough as a collector, that like little dopamine I hit, when I walk into my bedroom. And that's where I keep most of my Superman figures, is in my bedroom on my graphic novel shelf. So, I get to walk in, I get to see my Superman stuff. It just makes me happy. And sometimes as a collector, that's justification enough.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So here's the question that Salomon's been burning, and I'm going to let him go first. What are some of the figures that that are out there that are on your gotta have list? Not ones you want to see be made, but ones that are coming out, like that we've actually seen. So give me like maybe 4 or 5, like your top 4 or 5 figures that you want to get. Solomon, you can go first. How about top 5? Look this way.
Okay. Number 1, I've been really on it. It has to be the Joker Dragon.
Okay.
Number 2 is Atom Smasher. Number 3, I have to say, is trying to think. Sorry, there's so much to think about.
Yeah, I know. We all know, Solomon, how overwhelming it is. You don't have to be like,
welcome to being a collector.
there's too, the quote Star Wars. There's too many of them.
Oh, and the Arkham Asylum Scarecrow.
Okay.
That just pop up in the screen that Dad just closed it up. That's what I want. is
Okay.
my number 3. Number 4, I have to say, there's a lot.
All right.
Like my number 4, I have to say, man.
You will. I mean, we talked about a little bit. The Atrocitus figure. You talked about wanting to get Atrocitus.
4?
Or no, you want this one, Bane.
Yeah. 4 is Bane.
Okay.
5, I have to say, my last one that's on my list is I have to say the least one that I'm not excited but I really want to get. Sorry, there's so much to think about.
I know. Yeah, there is, because I'm looking through it right now, like all the ones that are just on sale on the website, and he's just like, ah. All right.
Like like Man Bat.
Okay. Yeah.
Man Bat.
Yeah. And the good thing about when Solomon gets one, I get to play with them too. Okay. So, Mike, top 5 figures that you want.
So top 5 would be definitely Deathstroke. I gotta grab me a Deathstroke. I would love a CW Green Arrow. I would love to grab me the Dark Knight Harvey Dent. I would say, what's that, 3? I would love a Damian Wayne. I don't have any Robins yet, so I would love a Damian Wayne.
Okay.
Let's see, one more. Swamp Thing. I need a Swamp Thing.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
need a Swamp Thing. So I would say those are my top 5 right now for my go-to.
Okay. All right, James.
Next up is James.
I mean, figures that I want right now, I want that Bane figure. That looks really good. Oh yeah.
That's another James action figure right there.
I want that Bane figure.
Yeah,
Me
and James are gonna have the Bane figure.
I want the Superman Future State, the Superman Gladiator figure.
Let's go down.
That black suit Lois and Clark rebirth suit is really awesome.
Sold out.
I need to get the Steppenwolf Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League figure. Just so it can stand next to my studio cut Steppenwolf figure and put it to shame.
Yeah, I had his leg.
I also want Lex in the red and blue mech suit.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I want the Superman version, but I also want the God of Apocalypse version.
Yeah. Okay. That's your 5, right? Yep.
Yeah, I think I hit 5 or 6 there.
That's fine. Levi?
I have a 6 really quick.
What?
It's like a scarecrow thing that looks ugly. That has a zombie, but it has red, like a mask on it.
Okay. All right, Levi. Which figures do you want?
So I'm sitting here. I'm on McFarlane's side. I'm looking at the pre-orders. We'll go Ra's al Ghul from Arkham.
Yes.
Yeah. Finally for time for a Ra's al Ghul one.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty cool figure for Ra's.
Yeah. Let's do Necron, because I'm a huge Green Lantern fan, and Blackest Night is... I worked in a place that sold comic books when Blackest Night had just finished coming out, and I saw the covers, and I was like, all right, I need to get into comics now. So Necron. Let's see. You know, it's the Black Adam figure that The Rock leaked with his marketing tweets the other day. The Black Adam with a throne.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sucker for action figures that sit on thrones, so we'll go with that one. And then it's not a pre-order; it's an older one that came out before I started buying them. I want the Nightwing that they first released when they first started McFarlane's. That one's
Oh.
kind of my missing piece that I keep an eye out for every time I go to like a flea market or a vendor mall, that sort of thing.
The great white whale.
Yeah.
Great white buffalo.
But yeah, that's my list for now. As we've talked, I'm trying to cut back. I've got a kid on the way here in a few months. I need to probably slow down.
Yeah, you need that money for diapers.
Definitely.
You just just take your be like, I'm buying it for the kids. I'm gonna
Right.
decorate the room.
It's
with
an
it."
investment piece.
Yeah, right. This is
Wait.
investing in their future.
Yeah.
I've tried them all. I've tried all the excuses. Okay.
I want that Superman speeding bullets figure.
I debated on that one, man. Like just because I was like, it's Superman, but it's Batman at the same time. So I debated that. Okay. So here's mine. I want the Injustice 2 Flash. That's been on my list. I want Swamp Thing, the big Swamp Thing. I want to. I really out of the pre-orders, honestly, I would like to have the Arkham Penguin. They're
Ooh,
pre-ordering
yeah.
now. I think that penguin looks awesome. Let's see, that's 3. The problem is there's so many that I wouldn't mind having, but I'm thinking, what are my gotta haves?
Oh, there's so many when I have right now.
And
there's
I had another one.
9 in my head right now.
I actually, you know what? We talked about this one. I want the Green Arrow from Injustice
Yes.
because there's not any really been a really great Green Arrow figures recently, and I love Green Arrow. I think he's a great character, and I really would like to have.
So underrated.
He is, and I would like to have a really good portrayal of him. I guess like I say this because I do need it. Is the Blackest Night Superman Build-A-Figure because I do need that Superman.
There's so many I want to have right now.
And that might be my 5. I'm just double checking. I am debating on whether or not to buy the Black Adam Dr. Fate. Because I love Dr. Fate, and I bought the Injustice Dr. Fate because I thought he looked amazing. And Hawkman. I'll say that. And I'm done. Okay. I want a little bit more, but
I was gonna say I want just about every single one of them. So
yeah, like I mean,
It's varying degrees of want. Like, how badly do I want this one?
I think it might have been easier just to say, okay, guys, which one don't we want?
yeah.
Oh, man.
Which one?
Well, you know this, like talking about this Bane figure. Like I've talked about how he's just been created into this brutish monster. You know, like this figure's huge, but it's got like a Bane proportion to it. Like he still looks like somewhat of a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I just, I find it fascinating that, the figure market, I think before, like, you would find figures like at your comic stop and, they would do figures for certain comic runs. And you'd be like, oh, look, there's the figure from, this or that. And then, we had the Smallville toys, the figures. And then we have, a couple others here and there. But I feel like McFarlane's just really found the pulse on keeping the market interested. And it's something really unique that I'm glad to be a part of. And like, we have this interest in collecting toys. And nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Well, then McFarlane, I mean, how much have they done? I mean, they've done the Batman 66 TV series, so there are people who want those because they've got like the Batmobile, and they've got so many people there. I mean, they've got the Princess Bride.
I wouldn't mind having
That'll
the Riddler
definitely
from the '66 run. I
right.
wouldn't mind having the Riddler. I love Frank Gorshin Riddler.
Like my daughter, she loves anime, so she wants some of the My Hero Academia ones. I mean, they've got The Witcher, and I mean Spawn. He's had Spawn. It's his own creation, and he's been making figures for it since the '90s. Um, I mean, some of those old figures, especially like the Angela figure, is worth like I don't know what they sell it for, like $600 or something.
Angela from The Office?
No, you missed it. From
Oh.
Spawn. And then I was mentioning they have that, that mirror, the DC or Disney Mirrorverse figures are coming out. So the last thing I was going to say is, who has seen or is interested in the fact that they've brought back the superpowers line? McFarlane has their own special superpowers line.
I do want the Superman and the Dark Side.
I did pick up Darkseid. Not gonna lie.
I bought Superman.
I'm gonna get the Batman and the Bat cartwheel, and Darkseid is, and maybe the Batman who laughs. Maybe.
I want to get Flash, and then we bought for Christmas. Solomon he got it for Sayla for Christmas. The Green Lantern, John Stewart. Because John Stewart's her favorite Green Lantern. So
why am I the only one that don't have
what?
The superpower?
Christmas is coming, homeboy. What about you, Mike? You interested in any of the old superpower retro figures?
Yeah, I honestly haven't heard they dropped or anything, so I definitely got to do my research on that and grab a couple.
Right now, the easiest ones to find are just Batman, Superman, and Darkseid.
Okay.
But then we saw online, and Green Lantern actually. But they're not advertising Green Lantern as much, but he's there. And then I just saw online that they're putting out the Batman Who Laughs and Flash.
Yeah, I'm on McFarlane's site now looking at everything.
Who here is not on the McFarlane page? Probably just James. He's the one who hasn't said it. Like, I pre-ordered the new Page Puncher Flash because it looks awesome.
I was on there.
See?
Flipping through.
See? And then now they're getting ready to start their Batman the Animated Series line. Like, they have Batman for pre-order through Target. So, and I'm debating whether or not to get this Superman Hush figure I keep staring at that looks awesome.
Yeah, I love Hush.
I keep staring at his Joker figure.
I know. Christmas is coming, dude.
I really want it.
So okay, last thing. Everyone go around, pick one figure they want McFarlane to do. I know we've said some things here and there, but let's all go around and say the one figure we want McFarlane to do. Solomon, what figure would you want McFarlane to make?
Okay.
One figure, go.
This is pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, but sorry, I'm trying to think.
All right, we'll come back to you, James.
I think it would be really awesome if McFarlane made some Smallville figures, got like a Clark in a trench coat and the red leather jacket, and a Rosenbaum Lex or something.
Okay, all right, Mike.
I ain't doing research on that, honestly. With me being a rookie, I've just been more buying and not really looking at what's not there.
Okay. Nothing you can think of that you'd want to see?
Let me ask you this. Are there any Alfreds out there?
I don't think there is any McFarlane Alfreds.
I haven't seen any.
I would love an Alfred.
The only McFarlane Alfred I think that's coming out is a 66 where he's dressed up as Batman.
Oh.
And it's Alfred with the mustache, but he's dressed up in the Adam West suit.
That would be pretty fire. Maybe even a Pennyworth as well. The series, maybe a McFarlane Pennyworth as well.
Ooh, that would be cool. Why
Yeah.
didn't I think of that? Dang it.
So yeah, I'll
All right.
go with Alfred.
All right, Solomon, go.
I would say they should put like the main Blue Lantern character.
Oh, St. Walker. Good one.
Yeah,
Good one. Yeah.
They should put Saint Walker in there.
Man, that makes me feel stupid. All right, Levi, you go.
I mean, we've touched on some of them already, so I'll skip those. We won't do the Val Kilmer Batman. You brought up the Tyler Hoechlin Superman earlier. I want Guy Gardner with the bowl cut and the Letterman's jacket. I mean, we've got Hal Jordan, we've got Kyle Rayner, we've got Jon Stewart, we've even got Parallax Hal Jordan. Let's get Guy Gardner full on bowl cut, throwback to the 90s.
All right.
And with I have my Blue Lantern ring on it.
Yes, you do. I will say, man, see, I was going to say the Tyler Hoechlin because I really wanted a Tyler, but at the same time, man, I'm trying to think. You guys got me good with the Alfred.
How about Jim Gordon?
I want a J.K. Simmons, Jim Gordon. There we go. But yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
that's missing from the Zack Snyder Justice League.
It is, but I mean, we've all said some good stuff. You know what? I will say this: I want a George Reeves Superman.
Okay,
That's
it's got to be black and white though.
Yes, give me a black and white one and a color one. That's what I want. All right, that's what we're going to end on here. We got a good hour of talking toys.
Yes, you have 1 hour, 1 minute,
and 10 seconds. All right, James, as always, thank you for being here.
and 13 seconds.
Solomon, thank you for joining us. He's got a soccer game in the morning. He needs to get some sleep.
Yeah, I do.
Mike, thanks for joining us, man. Pleasure to talk to you. We got to get together sometime. And Levi, thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Always.
Yep.
You guys have open invitations. If you ever just think, hey, I want to chat about this, just message me.
It
It was good talking to you guys.
Yeah, same here.
Definitely, yeah.
But I have a question before we all go.
Okay.
I hope our next video I hope one of our videos, like, we do every DC game, but we're ranking them.
Solomon just proposed an episode that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I actually like that idea.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work on that. All right, everybody, let's get out of here
All right.
before our wives get mad and start selling our toys.
All right.
See you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
We're going to press pause and hear a few words from our other podcasts on Press Play Podcast Network.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us and then listen in.
If you are like Tyler and James and can't get enough super talk, check out these other podcasts: Digging for Kryptonite, Supergirl Radio, The Last Sons of Krypton, the Superboy Legacy Podcast, All-Star Superfans, Superman the Animated Podcast, The Aspiring Kryptonians, Always Hold On to Smallville, Caped Wonder, The Geek of Steel, and Truth, Justice, and Hope Podcast.
This is Dan Jurgens, and if you want to have a good time, keep listening to the Krypton Report.
Look up in the sky. Yes, it's me, Sailor.
We just want to say, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please check out other podcasts on the Press Play Podcast Network. Remember to check out Krypton Report on all social media platforms. Go to linktree.com/Krypton Report. You find all of our information right there. $1 a month, you'll get extra special content that you don't get on the main show. like movie commentaries and whatever else comes out of our mouths. So check it out, patreon.com/KryptonReport.